Hello everybody, welcome back to Aerofly FS2. My name is jfavignano. Today we're going to be looking at the rest of the simulator, stuff I didn't go over last time, as well as, talk about the simulator, where its weaknesses are and where its pros are. So without further ado, this is the F4U Corsair. We are at a airport just outside of the Grand Canyon. You'll see it back here in a second if I move the camera this way. There's the Grand Canyon back there. So we're going to take off, fly around, talk about it. I'll show you the other airplanes. It will be awesome. Anywho, there is a new t-shirt campaign going on right now, just launched. And it's the new Fly With Me logo. And there's hoodies, there's t-shirts, all that good stuff. The link for that will be in the description below if you want to go check it out. It's got a cool attitude indicator with the new Fly With Me logo made by BTR Designs. Fantastic stuff. So if something that is in your interest, be sure to go check it out and maybe pick up a shirt. Anywho, let's hop up here into the cockpit of the F4U Corsair. Remember last time we did not know how to zoom. I know how to do it now. You hit the Z key to zoom in or Shift Z to zoom out. Pretty simple stuff, right? Sounds good to you because it sounds good to me. Add a little bit of power here. And this airplane in particular has a real squirrely rudder in it. There it goes already. Yep. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of right rudder there. I'm just gonna get this thing in the air. It's not the best flight model on the planet, this Corsair. I've not had too many good flights with it so far, unfortunately. But nonetheless, it is a beautiful airplane. Let's bring those flaps up. There we go. Those flaps animations are really, really snappy fast, too. There we go. Adding that power in. And we are climbing out. So, Aerofly FS2. A lot of you guys liked it. You know, some people had some mixed opinions on it and all that. I think it definitely has a place in the flight simulator world. I think it would be absolutely ignorant to rule it out as not being a flight sim or, whatever. It may not be for you, but it's great for other people, meaning, somebody who doesn't know much about flight, doesn't know much about flying airplanes and how to do approaches and navigational radios and all that good stuff. It's for them. Similar to, how Dovetail's doing their flight school. This has a flight school in it as well. And let me know in the comments below if that's something you guys would like to see me do, the actual lessons that are in this simulator. Let's make a right turn here. You can see how beautiful that is. Another thing I don't particularly like about this sim is that the water is not modeled. That is just a image, a photo image, if you will. So it would be nice to see some modeled water. So developers, if they want to eventually make some airplanes that have floats on them or, all that, because I know my father in particular loves float plane flying, and you just simply can't do it in this game because it does not have modeled water. We're gonna make a left turn here. I do want to show you the cloud simulation. The clouds are absolutely brilliant, meaning that when you go right through them, the amount of dissipation where you just go through it is absolutely incredible. I'll show you here in just a few seconds. We're about to go through the clouds. Even though we are VFR today, we are just doing this for demo purposes, so nobody tell the FAA on me here that we're flying through clouds. There it is. Look at that. You can see it's pretty realistic as far as the clouds go. I mean, it blocks out the visibility there where it needs to, but it also dissipates right away. It's not a hard hit or anything like that. So let's make a left turn here. A little bit more, and we will pull back on the stick. And we'll go this way now. There we go. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely got a place. Is it worth the money right now? It's early access. So if you want to, pay the money up front now, the 50 bucks, and get it, you've got the game no matter what. Man, we are getting tossed around by some turbulence today, especially up here in these clouds. As well as the fact that if you don't want to put the money up for it, I think it's okay to wait as well. If you want to see what they're going to do with it, there you go. But to each their own. Me, I think it's absolutely worth the money I paid for it. It's a beautiful flight sim. You can get in it and go. The thing is, you know, a lot of games like for Xbox One or PS4 or whatever, you know, they're all around this, you know, $60 mark. So for me to be like, oh, this isn't worth this, or like, you know, people had to make this sim. They had to take the time to build it and everything. So to say it's not worth X amount of dollars, I think is not something to, you know, you can really say about something that I personally don't know that much about. So is it worth the money? That's for you to decide. You decide. We're flying over the beautiful river. I think we should go down in that canyon and fly around. What do you say? I say we should. Pull the power a little bit back here. We're gonna go into a nice little dive. There's the airport off to our right. You can change the difference of you know, the weather, the visibility, the amount of clouds, the turbulence and all that. So that's what you're seeing the airplane get thrown around. Not only just the turbulence that I have previously set, but you know, the ones that are actually in the canyon. And listen to the wind noise you get when you come screaming through here. Isn't that cool? But you can also see the low-res textures. Now, I have read on the forums that they are working, or that the reason why they put low-res textures in was to keep the file size down on the early access game, which makes sense. So if they want to put higher res stuff in, they can later on. But to me, that's not such a game changer, especially if you like doing high flying stuff like in an airliner. It looks really good up at cruising altitude. I'll fly right over this guy right here. How about that? Right over this canyon. And you can see how low res those textures are whenever you're right up next to them like that. All right, let's fly up out of the canyon. There's some lens flare effects there. I'm never a big fan of that. I usually turn that off, but I didn't see an option to turn that off. So I do hope to see some more graphic options, if you will, meaning that, you know, I'd like to be able to turn this off or that off or something. But yeah, I'm ready to land this airplane to get out of this. This thing is getting tossed around like nobody's business. Let's see the outside view. I know a lot of you guys are probably screaming at me right now. Let's see how gorgeous that is. There it is right there. Look at that. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And if you like the, you know, the F4U Corsair, how can you not enjoy that spectacular look right there with the Grand Canyon behind us? That looks awesome. And there's the airport right there on our right. So we'll fly over. Let's just kind of do a teardrop approach here as I show off the outside view of this airplane. Fantastic. Let's pull the power so you can hear the outside sounds. Not much has changed. As you can tell, I've pulled the power all the way. But in the inside view, you can hear the difference. See, if I add the power, and then when I pull the power, it's very, very minimal, but it is there. All right, let's start pitching this baby up so we can bleed some airspeed off here. And turn around. The first notch of flaps are in, and we are slowing down. Gear can come down now. Go more flaps. And there is the airport right there. We might be a little high on this approach, to say the very, very least. That's okay, though. I need to find my airspeed. There it is right there. Doing 140 knots. Man, we do need to slow this puppy down. Let's turn left here. Put in these flaps all the way. There we go. I think we're going to be all right. We're bleeding our speed off here. We're on a left base for the runway. Be watching that RPM, add that power. We don't want to get too slow here. It was about 90 knots. Get back up on the glide slope. There we go. But yeah, the rudder in this airplane in particular is quite difficult to master. It's very very twitchy, to say the very least. All right, so we got full flap in. We are coming in now, lining up, getting tossed around by that wind still. I need to make that calm. That way you're not getting sick. There's the crosswind there. Pull our powers back just a tad. We're doing about 95 knots or so. That's looking good. I'm gonna try to 3-point this sucker. I think that's probably gonna be for the best on this particular airplane. And tail draggers, gotta love it. You gotta look out your peripherals here and put it down. Add that right rudder. pull the power back, and we are down. Here comes the tail coming down. All right, fantastic. It's really, look at this, and we're going to ground loop it. And I remember watching Pete Frugal Sim have the same issue of this airplane just ground looping. When you touch down, you start adding the brakes, which is unfortunate. So if we hit P and pause the sim, we can now look at our replay. If we back it up, we can watch how we did on our landing, meaning we can, you know, get a tower view or something here. Let's see, there's the tower view right there. Let's go ahead and hit play on this guy. We can zoom in with the mouse wheel or the Z key. Here we were coming in right there. You can see how bad those those textures are. See, the landing wasn't terrible. It was the moment I started slowing it down, or once it naturally did, as you can see there, I was doing everything I could to keep it off the runway or off the dirt, and then it just ground loops on us. So, all right, we are at the Naval Air Station just outside of San Diego in the FA-18 Hornet, and we are going to get this baby in the air and check it out. Let's see. We're here on the runway. Flaps are looking good there. I don't think we need that much flap, to be honest. Let's just do one notch there. Okay, I think that's what they had it already preset at. Here's the interior of it. Looks very nice. Got a moving map there at the bottom. Like I said, it's not very, very detailed as far as that goes. But the cockpit looks pretty nice. It's got a HUD and all that good stuff. So let's get cracking. Let's hit the power right now. It's coming up. And go full power. Afterburner's gonna kick on. There they are. Whoa, hello. I think it's just my SciTech pedals that are being like that. Just ease it back off the ground there. Gear's coming up. And look at that. We are up just like that. Look at those afterburners. Lit, baby. Coming over the ocean now. And we'll bring it back to military power. There it goes right there. Beautiful. Doesn't take much to get this thing in the air, does it? No, it does not. All right, so we are in the air, and this is going to show you kind of what I was talking about, having not a modeled sea. And it's really a shame because that's just a satellite image of the ocean. You know, out and about when you're way up in the air, it looks good. But when you realize that it's not real, it kind of breaks that immersion, if you will. So we just took off out of San Diego. San Diego's right here on our left. There's the main airport. Let's keep turning here. A little more power now. And the F-18 flies very nice. I mean, it's pretty much what you would expect. Let's do a 4-point roll on this thing. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fantastic. And I really like the feel of the ailerons. The aileron snap is pretty realistic, meaning that like when you add that stick in, it's like bam, you know, you can feel it with the airspeed that you have. So far nose is a little airport there, but that's the main San Diego International Airport right there. I don't know if it's San Diego International Airport. I don't know. It's a good question if they call themselves that. There's the city. That looks really cool. And outside view. F-18 is modeled very nicely. Especially with that that light engine. It looks beautiful. There's a nice 4-point roll there. With not enough hesitation, as you would imagine. Very, very quiet when you pull the power back. When you add that afterburner in, there they go. Pretty cool. So yeah, there are some things about this sim that, you know, I think could be improved, but there's also a lot of fun to be had in it. And I think if they have some VR support in this thing soon, it's really going to make more people pull the trigger and buy it. Because having a VR experience in this would be really, really amazing. It's kind of simplistic, meaning that you could throw your buddy in it, and they wouldn't have to know much about flight sim, but they could get a real nice enjoyment out of the virtual reality experience. So we're buzzing right over San Diego now. There's the terminals. You see some planes down there. Well, it's showing it's like an international airport. I see 747s down there, but Not 100% sure on that one. I thought the city was more to the left here. I mean, downtown's there, but I thought there was some taller buildings on the left here, but it's not looking like it from what I can tell. All right, let's pop over this way and head over to the Naval Air Station. And then we can show the A320. I know a lot of people wanted to see the A320 last time, so I promised I would do that. Let's go ahead and pull the nose back here so we can bleed some airspeed off. There's 200 knots. We'll bring the first notch of flaps in. So we're at half flap. All right. There's the Naval Air Station there. There's the runway. Got it in sight. Gear's going to come down. Next setting of flap. There we go. Flaps are down. Gear's down. 3 green. Watch our speed here. Going to get back up to about 140 or so. Shouldn't have to hit the afterburner. If I'm hitting the afterburner this at this level, then that means I'm doing something majorly wrong. Don't want to get into a problem with stalling in F-18. There we go. Looking good here as we turn on to final now. Not really worrying about the winds. Just kind of landing where we want to. There we go. Let's get that nose up attitude where we want it. There we go. Fantastic. And we're coming out now. Pulling that power back just a little bit. And fantastic. Another thing with this sim is it's got a lot of drag. It has a lot of friction and drag, which is kind of beyond realism. I know I said last time, I've had, I really thought I was going to like it, but there we go. And we're down. That wasn't bad at all. But it's got too much drag. It seems like everything slows down way too fast than it should. However, maybe that's a good thing for newer pilots. Let's watch our landing on that one. We'll pause it. We'll take this. We'll reverse right there. Let's get a nice view here. There's a nice one right there. A nice runway side one. And let's watch this. Landing. It looked pretty smooth from my end. That wasn't bad at all. You can't zoom in that view. That's really strange. Let's see if we can get a better view here. Oh, there's the camera view of the... Yeah, that's from... But you can see how bad that looks whenever you look at it from there. So, I'm good on that. Let's go to the outside view here. You can really see. There we go. Pretty standard. Not bad landing at all. So... let's check out the A320, shall we? All right, here we are at the ramp at San Francisco International Airport. We're going to taxi over to runway 1 left. We're going to add a little bit of flaps here. They come down. Just showing you the exterior model of the A320. If the flaps will ever come down. Looks like they are eventually, but just very slowly. Yep, there they are. Let's pop up into the cockpit and check it out. So here we are looking at the cockpit. We can zoom in a little bit here and just look around. Got, simple autopilot system here. Looks very nice though. The actual textures are very good, similar to how the 747 is. Like, not bad at all. All right, let's reset that and let's go a taxiing. We'll just add that power. And we're gonna taxi down to runway 1 left. And we've got external lights now. Wing beacon is on, all that. Taxi lamps. Those landing lights. It's all done on the scroll wheel. There's the taxi. There we go. All right, cool. I think that's the takeoff mode of those lights. Yeah, let's go down to taxi. There we go. That's a lot better. So 1 left's just up here in front of us. So we can taxi down there. All right, the sounds are kind of meh. They're very quiet from the outside view, but we are going to go ahead and line up here. We have our flaps set and we are ready to take the skies. Now remember that we don't have to worry about our fuel and, our weight and balance. So fuel and the payload and everything. It's kind of all pre-calculated, which is really strange. So we just kind of go ahead and add that power in. I'm gonna pull back a little bit here so we have takeoff power set. And airspeed's alive. There's 80 knots. We'll say V1's gonna be right there where the blue one is, 125, 130-ish. V1, rotate, just ease back on the stick. Doesn't take much, and we are in the air. Gears gonna come up. That's a pretty solid takeoff right there. Not bad at all. We can flip on that flight director. If we can find the flight director on this airplane right there. So that's if we're going to 10,000 feet or whatever. Fantastic. I'll start pulling the power back now. And we'll go out and we'll do a teardrop approach and we'll land on the classic runways that come over the water. There we go. Reducing that. I'm going to maintain these flaps. Now you can see there's the flap speed limits coming up there around 200 knots. I'm going to keep these down for now. We're going to make our right turn out this way and get set up for a visual approach for the landing. But yeah, just showing you more of Aerofly FS2. Let me know if you guys would like to see a full flight from point A to point B, because you can do it. It's got a very simplistic autopilot system, but it does work. It gets the job done, so you can't be upset by that. All right, a little more to the right. Looking good. Now, I'm not going to show the nighttime. The nighttime is kind of a letdown because there's no physical lighting. The airports are lit up, the airplanes are lit up, but everything else is not. So it's kind of sad. I'm going to go ahead and bring those flaps in just so we don't have to worry about the speed. There we go. Bring it back in here. Too busy talking, not flying. Let's bring that nose down here. And we could actually pick up the ILS if we knew the ILS frequency. We could dial it in. It does work. Indeed. There we are on our 2,500. All right, let's start our descent a little further down. Come on, baby, slow down. Let's go flaps 2. It's helping out a lot there. And is our speed brakes armed? Yeah, they look like they are. Beautiful. We're gonna fly out towards the Bay Bridge here and turn around. Looking good. Start our turn now. Bring that nose up. This thing does not want to slow down today. There we go, as we start our turn to the right, and we'll be on a right base for the runway now. It's keeping things very simple. We're not being too technically, you know, with jargon and stuff. I'm trying to make this video more open to people that don't know much about flight sim. So, is it for you? You decide, because one thing that you know, if you've flown like the airplanes in GTA 5 and stuff, and you just want a little bit more than that, you know, these entry level sims are great for that. Put the gear down. I mean, it's not overly complicated. You can really start getting down to what you know, a pattern is, or how to approach an airport and land correctly. And it really does help. It works very, very nicely. Let's add a little more flap in. There's gonna be flaps 3, and we should fly right up here. We're at about 1,000 feet. We're going to wait and intercept the the glide slope on the PAPI lights. So bring that nose up a little bit more. Here we go. So we're just 1 dot down, it looks like. Yep, 1 dot down. And that's about 2 right there. That's not too bad. All right. Just bring that nose forward now. And try to fly down on the glide slope. Keeping a decent speed. We're not a VREF. I think the blue one there is what they want for that. I'm not 100% sure how they're doing the systems in this airplane per se, but that's okay. We are high now. We need to bring it down. 1,000 heard, and we'll go full flap. We should be good to go here. Pretty sure that the speed brakes will be open from what I can tell. Let's just pull it back a little bit, maybe. There we go. No, I think that's, yeah, pulling up should be armed. Armed and dangerous. All right, bring them down here a little bit more. Just letting the airplane kind of settle out now. I'm going to shoot for about 140 knots. I don't want to get near that blue one. I don't know what that is supposed to entail. We're good now. Add that little power.
400.
But as you can see, the ocean's not moving. It's static. And VR would be very nice, like I said.
300.
300. Looking good on the glide slope now. One more power. Yeah, it looks like the blue one is where they want us to have a speed for final approach. We're not forcing the airplane. We're just flying it to the touchdown markers. But right now, it's going to be probably the one right after the
100.
big white squares.
50, 40, 30.
There's 20. We would be retard. Would you bring that
10.
Yep, bring the nose up and let her settle. Ooh, we floated a little bit, but we are down. Let that nose gear come down eventually. There we go. Yep, flew it all the way down. That's pretty good. And I don't have reversers set. That's good. No, I do. There they are. Almost forgot about that. I did get those set correctly from last time. And we are down. So it's got a lot going for it. I really like the flight model on it. It's I've never had like a kind of landing besides in that F4U Corsair, landing and takeoff in the F4U Corsair. That hasn't been satisfying or doesn't feel like another sim or something. But if you're not into the early access game, I would wait and see what they're going to do with it. I'd like to, see them add some more functionality, at least to be able to shut the engines down and stuff. That would be nice. We're just going to taxi straight ahead into the gate. Actually, before we do that, let's watch our landing. I'm sure we wanted to see that, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, the landing or the replay slider, as you can see, it's not too far, so you have to do it kind of like right after you're done there. Let's watch from this view. Not that one. Let's go this one. Here we go. It's the tower view. Just held that nose up right there. That's where I had too much. If I would have had a little less flare, we wouldn't have floated as much, but not too bad. And then we fly that nose wheel down. You never want to force the nose wheel down, that's for sure. Doesn't look like the spoilers worked. And then we were so late on the reverser deployment. Oh, there it goes. So the reversers and the spoilers are together. Interesting. Did not know that. How was I to know, Let's see what that looked like from this view here. I mean, yeah, it was just that little bit there. There she goes. Not too shabby. And then whenever you open the reversers, that's whenever the spoilers pop up. That's really strange. But, maybe I did something different. The reverser sounds not too bad. I don't think there's a wing view. There might be a wing view. Let's check and see in case anybody wants to see that. Let's see if there's wing views. I think there is actually. Yeah, there was. Oh, there's a wing view right there. They have one on the other side? Nope. It's just only in this one. There's a nice wing view for those of you that like that. It's got that nice bounce, It's got that realistic suspension feel to it. The sounds, definitely could do better sounds than that. But regardless, let's watch our little guy at work there. He was on it. Look at that. He's got the reversers open, using his feet to steer the plane down the runway. There he goes. He just reversed it right there, or released it. Pretty cool stuff. So that is Aerofly FS2 in a nutshell. Let me know if you want to see more of it. I don't mind showing you more of it if there's any other airplanes, because there's a bunch of other ones. There's an extra 300, there's the King Air and stuff like that. It's up to you if you want to see it or not. Other than that, I think our next flight sim video will be X-Plane 10. So with that said, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.